Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to the channel. I'm really happy you're here today. We're doing something a little bit different. I wanted to share with you just a few of my favorite pieces that are either vintage or vintage inspired. Some of these items I've had for a very long time that were passed down to me from my mom. Others have been thrifted and I've really been enjoying having them in my home. And a lot of you guys have reached out to me to let me know that you've been praying for me and that you're thinking of me. I was pretty sick. I was in the ER about 5 days ago with a really horrible sickness that I won't go into detail about, but it is something that's in the past, and I'm feeling better, but I just don't have any energy anymore. I'm still in the recovery phase, and so I had intended on filming my Christmas bedroom decorating video, and I just don't have it in me to do that just yet. So I thought this would be a fun way to share some time with you guys for the Christmas season as far as decorating goes, and just kind of share with you a little bit of my favorite vintage inspired or vintage items. I'll plan to use most of these in my hutch, and a lot of you guys have seen in the past when I do my hutch decorating videos, it's really hard to film. I have sliding doors and it's hard to see in there. So this is kind of a sneak peek into what the hutch is gonna look like. If I am feeling better, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be getting a video to you guys soon to share with you my Christmas bedroom. I've got a Christmas front porch video, so if you're not already subscribed, you do want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button because you won't want to miss out on any of the fun. But let's take a look at some of my favorite items that I've collected over the years that I'll be using in my hutch this season. So of course, I'm starting with my favorite cup of coffee. I'm gonna keep things kind of cozy, kind of low key. This is very casual. So leave me a comment below. Let me know, where are you watching from and what is your favorite decorating style? I have already decorated in my living room, and I've got this kind of burgundy sort of maximal luxe look going on, but all of the items that we're gonna share today are all kind of vintage or vintage inspired. And so we're gonna start with the smallest item first. Now, this one is not a vintage piece. I actually picked this up at Cracker Barrel, I think, a couple years ago, but it's this really cute little salt and pepper shaker set. How adorable is this for the Christmas season? Now, there was a time when the red trucks was like all the rage, and I know a lot of you guys might still really enjoy the red trucks, and I kind of do too, but they don't really go with the vibe of my living room anymore. So this is a perfect item for my hutch because, you know, it's kind of like a kitchen item anyway. How cute is it that the little tree comes off of the truck like that? I love it. And so this is one that I'm going to be setting up in a little vignette with some plates and some cute Christmas Santa mugs, and we'll see how that turns out. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and share with you, as I discuss these items, the clips of the items that are decorated, because I wanna share, but I also wanna show you how I'm using them. So this is one of my favorite adorable little finds that I really enjoy using. All right, so the next one that we're gonna be talking about is some Santa mugs. Now, I only have 2 vintage Santa mugs, and this is one of them. Now, both of these I picked up at Goodwill years ago before I feel like before thrifting became like a craze. So I've been thrifting my whole life, actually my whole adult life. I actually started thrifting and secondhand shopping with my mom when I was a little kid. So she used to drag me around. And honestly, back then, my mom will tell you, Mom, leave me a comment below, let everybody know how much did I hate going around to garage sales and secondhand shops with you. I hated it, but she did teach me a lot, and I'm really grateful for that because as I became an adult, I continued on that hobby. And this is one that I picked up for $1.18 at Goodwill years ago, and I just think he's really, really cute. Now, I'm still on the lookout for items like this when I travel to thrift stores, secondhand shops, things like that. I do want to increase my collection, but it's pretty slow going now because everybody is on the hunt for these. So I picked this one up, and then I want to say maybe even in that same year, I also picked up this one, and he's a little bit different. Cute little Santa with a winking face. This one was also from Goodwill for $1.18. I'm actually not convinced that this one is vintage. The other one, I think it is. I don't know if you guys can tell when you hold it, but there's just something about the feel of it that maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like I can tell just by the feel of it and the weight of it whether or not it's vintage. So, you know, I don't know. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you are thinking this might be just vintage inspired or if it actually is a vintage item. So these are my 2 Santa mugs, and I'm gonna be kind of stacking these in my hutch along with some greenery. I have a couple of little Christmas trees that I picked up from the Target dollar spot recently, and I'll kind of be using them as back filler with these items to kind of bring a little bit more life and like a festive feel to the hutch. But those little Santa mugs are definitely going to be a good addition to that little vignette that I plan to use. Now, this one is, let's see here. This says Thomas, Germany. And this is an item that I did thrift, and unfortunately I have no idea how much I paid for it. It's been a while, and I think this is just like a little maple syrup cup, mug, vessel. I don't know, but I love the little red trim at the top. I don't know if you guys can see that at the very top. It's just got this little pinstripe of red, and that is it. That is the only hint of Christmas coloring on here, and I think it's so sweet. So this one's definitely going to also be used in one of those vignettes that I'm going to put in my hutch. Now, one of the things that I like to do in my hutch, and a lot of you guys have seen my hutch decorating videos before, so maybe you know this, but along the top shelf, I like to keep things very simple, and I typically will just use like white pictures. I have one huge white ironstone picture that I absolutely love, and I love to kind of highlight my white pictures at the top. And so that is kind of a simple shelf. It's kind of plain, and then the middle and the lower shelves are where you'll find all of the decor, just because they're at eye level and you can get a better feel for the decorations that are on there. Not only that, but my shelves are glass, and so a lot of the decor at the top, you just see the bottom of it anyway. So this will probably be either on the middle or the bottom shelf, and so I cannot wait to get this styled in the hutch as well. Now, along with this vintage sort of feel, I've got this boot. Now, I do think this is vintage. I've had this for years. I thrifted this for $2.98 probably 5 years ago, and ever since then I've never seen one like this as far as the size and the coloring. I do see boots, I just have some greenery in here, but I do see Santa boots out there, but they don't look like this. So I don't know if maybe this one was a vintage one that I found at Goodwill just by luck, or if they are mass produced and they're out there. And that kind of is true for all of these items, guys. I'm not an expert collector. I just buy what I like. So if you see an item and you're like, that's definitely not vintage, leave me a comment below, because I do love to know that. But as long as it looks vintage, then I'm happy with it. So, you know, some of these items are definitely mass produced and maybe a little bit newer. This one might be one of those items, but I don't know, it just has a very vintage feel. It reminds me of when I was a kid, and my mom used to decorate with items like this. So I love this one. I love that Santa red, so cute. And this one is definitely going in the hutch. I've got an idea of using it just the way it is with the greenery inside as part of a vignette as well. Now, the next item that I want to share with you is probably my all-time favorite of this entire selection of items. This one came from my mom. Mom, if you're watching, thank you for passing this down to me, because I absolutely love it and I've been loving it ever since. But this little guy, he's actually not that little, but this Santa, hold on one second while I grab him. This Santa is my favorite. I love him so much, this little Santa. My mom used to have this when I was a kid. She would put him on the entry table, and she would put candy canes in here. And when I came home from school, I would grab a candy cane and just enjoy the holiday season. And this one brings back so many memories of my childhood home. I think he's so cute. I do think he's vintage. My mom had it for years. And, you know, it's definitely a cherished item, and I love being able to put him in the hutch and highlight him. I'm going to set him in the center position in the middle shelf so that he takes first position when you look at the hutch. And I just think he's cute, and I really, really love him. So thanks, Mom, for sharing him with me. Now, the next item that we're going to be using is, I'm going to be careful putting him down because I don't want to break him. The next item that I'm going to be using is more thrifted items. And books, you guys know, books are a great way to accent your decor, especially when you can thrift them for great prices and find them in the festive colors of the season. So these are 3 books that are not Christmas books. They're just regular, you know, titles that have nothing to do with Christmas. In fact, that middle one is the Jungle Book. I don't know if you can see that there, but yeah, it's part of the Jungle Book series. And then, of course, this little one here with the festive green linen backing, or spine rather. I think these are great because you can stand them up and use them as if they're just books in a library on the shelf, or you can use them as risers. So I've got a couple of ideas on how I want to use these, probably as risers in the hutch, and so I'll just insert a few clips just to show you how I plan to style these. Things may change. You know how that goes with decorating. When you place something and then you live with it for a while, if you don't quite like it, you change it up a little bit. But don't worry, because if that does happen, I'll do a home tour and you can kind of check out all of the items in my final home tour for the season. But we do have a lot of decorating to do before then, lots to do actually. And so this is definitely going to bring a lot of that festive, traditional green and red coloring into my hutch for the season. Now, the next item that we're gonna go with is this, and this is actually not a Christmas item. This might be antique. It's definitely vintage for sure. Picked this up at a antique store in Mount Dora, Florida, and I'll insert a few clips of the store where my husband and I recently went to celebrate our anniversary. We actually celebrated 28 years of marriage. We've been together for 31 years, but we've been married for 28 years, and we just took a trip to Mount Dora and enjoyed some time together. He took me to this wonderful antique shop, and this is an item that I picked up a few years back at that same antique store, and this time around I decided to get some clips when I was there just to share with you, because they did have a lot of beautiful vintage Christmas items, antique Christmas items. And you know what's really funny about when you walk through an antique store when you're my age, I'm 47, you're starting to see some items from your childhood in the antique store, which I'm not sure how I feel about that, actually, be honest with you. It's kind of reminiscent and fun and nostalgic, and I love seeing those items, but then I'm like, it means I'm getting old. But this is just one of my favorite items that I picked up years ago at that antique store, and love being able to use this throughout the seasons. It's got a really pretty sage green, so it would be great for spring as well, but I think this is a great item to use in the kitchen, maybe with like a wreath around it in some way, or maybe a candle on top with a small wreath. I think that would be really cute. This one's definitely not gonna go in the hutch, mainly because the hutch is going to house all of my green and my red and white traditional items that sort of don't match with the rest of my decor, because I've changed my look over the years. And so I'm gonna kind of house all of the traditional red and white, the Santa, the vintage items in the hutch. That way they don't compete with the rest of the house, but they have their own special place where they can kind of be highlighted. So this one's probably gonna go in the kitchen somewhere. And now the next item that I want to share with you is definitely not vintage. It's definitely not antique. In fact, it's totally mass produced. I picked it up at Target. I think last year I grabbed this one. But you know, he's cute, and I think that he'll be a great filler piece until I'm able to get a few more of those actual vintage Santa mugs. I think this is a good option. So I'm gonna set him along with some other items and a cute little vignette in the hutch. And I think he'll kind of complement a lot of the actual vintage items and just, you know, kind of continue that sort of fun, childish, festive, I don't want to say childish, that's the wrong word. What word am I looking for? Childlike Christmas spirit in my hutch. And so he's definitely a cutie that I can't wait to incorporate into the hutch this season. Now, the next item that I want to share with you, I also picked up at that same antique store. I absolutely love antique mail, antique postcards, old things that are from a bygone era. And when I went to that Mount Dora antique store a couple of years ago, I loved this postcard. I love the Christmas scene. It's actually a New Year's image, but it looks like a Christmas scene. And it's cute because you can see that somebody actually sent this to a friend. And I don't know, does it show the year on there? 1914, I think it says. And this is just a cute little reminiscent piece of a bygone era. It looks like it says something about, let's see here, let me see if I can get that. It says, "This is Odo to greet you." So I'm thinking that maybe Odo was the name of the person's dog, because when you look at the back, you can see that it is addressed to Odo. How adorable is that? So this is just a sweet reminder of a bygone time, and I love incorporating some of these items in to make the displays feel a lot more warm, a lot more authentic. I love these sort of handwritten items, and I picked up this little guy at that same antique shop. I don't think he's vintage because I actually saw him in a boutique shop in Mount Dora recently also. So I think he's something that you can probably pick up on Amazon or one of those online shopping places. But he's just this cute little mouse. If I can get him to, let's see if I can get you guys to focus in. Look how cute he is. He's just got this little thing that he's holding here. It's probably like a place card holder, but he's just super sweet. And I do plan to kind of put this there in his little place card holder like that so that I can display him in one of my vignettes. So kind of a cute little item that I can bring in to the hutch to just create a little bit more of that vintage sort of antique feel. I don't know, childlike, I keep wanting to say childish, but that childlike feel, right? That sort of Christmas nostalgia that we all love and we all try to recreate. And honestly, I think that's pretty much why we love, well, I'm speaking for myself, I'm not gonna speak for you, but let me know in the comments if you agree. For me, the reason why I love decorating for Christmas so much is because it really does inspire that childlike nostalgia, that feeling of family and tradition, and just being a kid at Christmas has always been some of the best memories of my life. And so being able to kind of decorate the house and recreate that and bring back those feelings of warmth and family and tradition, it's just so special. And so I would love to know if you agree, if you love decorating for any season, especially Christmas. Leave me a comment below. Let me know, what do you think? What's the reason behind why you enjoy decorating for the Christmas season so much? Because for me, I think that's the reason. Now, the next item I'm gonna show you is pretty boring. But it's the stack of plates. Now, these are not vintage or antique. I picked these up from the Hearth and Hand line last year, but they do have this really pretty green coloring, and I love that ribbing on them. I think they're gorgeous, and I plan to use these as a riser for one of my vignettes. A lot of these items will be placed together in the vignettes, so as you are looking through these clips that I'm putting in, you'll see the way they're gonna work together, and I'm really enjoying the way the hutch looks this year. I feel like every year it's different, and every year I say it's my favorite, but I think this year is actually my favorite. And you know, one of the things, I was watching my friend Lisa, her channel name is Uniquely Lisa. I just watched her video last night, and she was mentioning how she had noticed some report or like a decorator say how the traditional colors are coming back. They're trending again, and I think that's true. For a long time, we were doing neutrals and non-traditional Christmas colors and things that were, you know, just a little off and very creative and very nice, but off away from that traditional feel. And this year I feel like it's making a big comeback, and I do expect that to continue. So I'm kind of glad I didn't ditch all of these items just because I wasn't using them for a few years, and I kept them in my collection, because bringing them back out this year has really kind of inspired that sort of nostalgia for me. And so I'm so glad that I still have them. Now, this basket is one that you guys have seen before if you've been with me for a long time. I actually thrifted this basket quite some time ago, and I've been using it for past seasons as well. I've used it in my hutch many times on the top shelf, but this time around I just added in a little wreath from Hobby Lobby along with a velvet ribbon. Now, this is the color that I went with all throughout my house. I've got this dark, almost burgundy color you can see on my Christmas tree. I've got those like big, bold, dark burgundy velvet ornaments in there. And by the way, I have already posted that video, so if you haven't seen my living room decorating video, be sure and check out the link below, because you'll see a lot of my Christmas items, you'll see a lot of my Christmas videos in that playlist. But the burgundy red is just absolutely beautiful. But just bringing in that greenery and the warmth of the basket and that beautiful red burgundy is really, really gorgeous. And I've got a way to sort of stand this up on the top shelf, because my hutch has a light at the top, and the shelves are glass, and so the light shines down, but when you put something in the top center position, it blocks the light from everything else. So I like to stand this up against the back of the hutch so that it does take on the light and you can see it really well, but then the light also can go beyond where the top shelf item is and kind of highlight the items beneath. Now, the next item that I'm gonna share with you, we're almost to the end of the haul here. It's not a haul, it's just all my collected. You know, sometimes you just speak in ways that are just like a habit for you. Definitely not a haul, these are all my collected pieces. But I do wanna share with you, I have 6 of these Crate and Barrel cups that I picked up. I actually shared these in my very first thrift haul video ever on my channel years ago when I didn't know what I was doing on YouTube. And I have loved having these. These are absolutely gorgeous green glass cups from Crate and Barrel. You can see I still have the tags on them. I took off the Goodwill tags, but I did pay $1.18 for them. I have 6 of them, and some of them I haven't used for, I think they're like espresso coffee cups. I haven't really ever used them that way. I just use them for the decor element. But they're just gorgeous. This beautiful sort of delicate, dainty handle here is so pretty, and they're just, I just think they're absolutely stunning. And so I'll be kind of stacking these up or bringing these in for just a pop of green. Most of the items are going to be the red and white sort of jolly Santa like on my shirt, but a little bit of green goes a long way when you want to bring in that festive look. And so I have 6 of those, so I'm not sure exactly if I'm going to be using all of them, all 6 of them, or just a few of them, but you'll see, because you'll see the clips that I've already inserted. And then this one is actually another item that was passed down from my mom. Again, I'm thinking it's vintage because she had it forever. You can see that the paint is starting to come off, and I think I want to try to fix that. But instead of doing the red that, you know, see how it kind of looks like it used to be red in the windows? I think I want to paint them yellow and kind of make it look like lamp light. You can see on this side, for whatever reason, this side doesn't have the amount of wear that the other side did, and you can see that the windows used to have the red coloring on the inside, but this is just a really sweet cookie jar, and it's not too much red. They got a couple of touches of red here, a couple of holly berries on the top with the red on the jar lid, but I just love this. I think this is a great way to either accent a coffee bar. You could put your K-cups in. I may end up using this in the kitchen. I don't think I'm gonna put it in the hutch because it doesn't go along with that Santa, vintage Santa specific look that I wanna try to recreate in the hutch, but I love this one. So Mom, thanks for passing this one down to me as well. So I haven't done my Christmas decorating in my kitchen yet, but when I do, these will definitely be items that will already be in the hutch. I may or may not take you through the decorating, considering I've already done this video to share with you everything. And I appreciate the prayers. I appreciate you guys so much, probably more than you realize. I feel like I'm so grateful to God for pushing me in the direction of creating this channel. For so many years, I wanted to do this channel, and I kind of put it off because of fear, because of doubt, because I felt like I was, you know, not who in the world would want to watch me. And so I put it off probably for 2 years before I finally took the plunge and decided to do it. But you guys, seriously, I have enjoyed every minute of my time here on YouTube. I've enjoyed getting to know you. I absolutely love our conversations in the comments, and I'm so grateful for the friendships that I've been able to build by having this channel. There's a few people that I can think of right now that, you know, we talk outside of YouTube as well, and I'm so grateful for you guys. I want to say thank you for praying for me and for supporting me and for supporting my channel. Has been a passion of mine for a long time. I love to decorate, and I loved the idea of getting here on YouTube and doing this with you guys. So making this happen has been a dream come true, and it's been such a blessing, and I'm so grateful to the Lord for putting it on me to make this channel. And I just want to say thank you guys for the prayers and for the support and all of the encouragement that you've given me. You are wonderful. You're the reason why this channel keeps going, and I couldn't thank you enough. So whatever the next video is going to be, I'm not sure. It depends on how I feel, but I know that you guys will be there and you'll be supporting me, and I'm so grateful for that. So cheers to you for a very happy holiday season. I hope that you are having a wonderful approach to Thanksgiving, and leading into the Christmas season, I hope that you will have blessings and health and family. And with that, I'm gonna close the video. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.